94% of Georgia homeowners say their property taxes have been overassessed and it's costing them big. You just got your notice. It went up, didn't it? Well, you've got two choices. Give more of your hard-earned money to the government or fight back. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to appeal your Georgia property taxes so you don't have to pay any more than your fair share, not a penny more. So let's talk about how we got here. In Georgia, counties and cities are required to reassess property values every single year, but that doesn't mean that the process is accurate. Here's what most people just don't realize. The number that you have on your assessment is what the county or city thinks your property is worth on January 1st of that year, not today's value. So if after that date property values went down, if your house needs work, if there are other extenuating circumstances, none of those things factor into that value, and that's where your opportunity lies. A lot of counties are using mass appraisal tools, outdated comps, flawed assumptions. Some are even experimenting with AI, and that's how those inflated values slip through. But here's the good news. If you appeal and you do it right, you can fix that number, and you might even be able to freeze that number for the next 3 years. So how do you actually appeal property taxes in Georgia? Step 1. Check your deadline. When you receive your notice of assessment, you typically have 45 days to file an appeal. So check your assessment. On there, there's going to be a date. Don't miss it. When you file, either online or by mail, you'll pick one of 3 paths. So you can appeal in one of 3 ways, and the most common is through the Board of Equalization. You present your case to a panel of locally trained property owners. No lawyers are needed, but you must bring your own supporting evidence. 2, arbitration. With arbitration, it's going to cost you upfront to pay for a certified appraisal. You'll submit that third-party appraisal to the arbitrator. Arbitrator's going to take a look at your number. They're going to take a look at the county's number, and they're going to make a decision. There's no in between. There's no middle ground. So this is less common. It's more common for properties that have higher stakes, so the multi-million-dollar properties and or commercial properties. Now, the third option, you can have a hearing officer hear your case. Now, this is typically best for properties that are assessed above $500,000. Now, here's what most people don't realize. Before any hearing ever happens, the Board of Assessors will take a look at your case. Now, if you've submitted strong evidence, you've made a great case for yourself, they might choose to reduce your property taxes up front. If you accept their offer, appeal over, you win. If not, then you proceed with your chosen path. Now, here's something that I think is extremely important for you to understand. Even if you have success with that initial review process with the Board of Assessors and you win a reduction, you will not qualify for the 3-year freeze. The only way that you get the 3-year freeze is if you go through the Board of Equalization or a hearing officer hearing and win a reduction. Now, if you live in the home, the best option is going to be the Board of Equalization. It's free, it's accessible, and no attorney required. So what are your odds of winning a reduction? It turns out that they're actually pretty good. In the state of Georgia right now, roughly 62% of all appeals are won. I like those odds. Those are really, really good. Now, 1 out of 5 homeowners who go through this process never actually show up to the hearing, so that's an automatic loss. And of the 38% who don't win their appeals, here's why. The first factor is a lack of preparedness. They don't come prepared with comps. They have no photos of the condition of the property. They don't have any records to correct. 2 is a misunderstanding of values, because the county and city, they don't use today's value. They use the value as at January 1st of that year in most places. So if you're arguing today's value, well, that's not going to work. And the third reason is weak evidence. Either the comps aren't great or they're using comps from a completely different area. So the good news is the system works if you come prepared. So let me show you exactly how to do that. Okay, so here's how to put together a rock solid case that'll give you the best chance of winning your appeal. So first, you're going to put together a list of recent sales, comps as we call them in real estate. Look for 3 to 5 nearby properties that sold before the 1st of January of this year. That's the key date. Look for similar size, condition, and location. Now, if those homes sold for less than your assessed value, that gives you leverage. It helps you. Now, if you're not sure how to find the best comps to support your case, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can get a free list of the best comps a little bit later in the video. Two, you want photos of your property's condition because the county's not going to know about the condition of your property. So if there's anything that could negatively impact the assessed value that could help you, in other words, it's funny, when you're going to market to sell, you want these things to be fixed. When you want to try and lower your taxes, you want these things front and center. So what am I talking about? You're talking about like the condition of the roof. If you have cracks in your foundation, if you have outdated kitchens and bathrooms, for example, poor curb appeal, any other challenges with the property, now is the time to document them and bring them to the county's attention because you're not going to know about them otherwise. So the next thing that you're going to look for are inaccuracies with public data. So incorrect data on the county website, for example. So what exactly am I talking about? So hypothetically, if your house is 3,000 square feet, but the county has it listed at 3,500 square feet, that could throw off their valuation and you might be paying more taxes than what you should. The same goes whether you have a basement and they think it's finished, but it's actually unfinished, if they're counting more rooms than you have, or if you have the incorrect condition rating. So what am I talking about condition rating? Typically in a brand new house, it might be considered best or excellent condition. Maybe your house is 30 to 40 years old. Well, that condition should be rated as fair. Well, you're going to pay more for excellent than you will fair in some cases. So honestly, what you're doing is you're looking for areas of opportunity. If you find inaccuracies, you're going to document them and you're going to show them in your appeal. Now, there is a fourth option, and it's a certified appraisal. Am I saying go out and pay for appraisal? No, not necessarily. You can use a real estate agent's comps for that. But if you have an appraisal because you recently bought your house, or you needed to get it refinanced, you needed a HELOC, or you were trying to remove PMI and your bank had you get an appraisal, and it has a value that is lower than your assessed value as at January 1st, you could potentially use that to your advantage in your appeal process. So just to recap what you're going to need your solid comps. You're going to need really good pictures of your property condition. If you found inaccuracies on the county website, then you're going to want those. And if you happen to have that certified appraisal, great. Take all of that information, upload it with your appeal or bring it to your hearing, and you're going to have a really strong position. And remember, Georgia's 3-year freeze only applies if you go before the Board of Equalization or a hearing officer and you win a reduction. So that means no new hikes for the next 3 years, which is great unless you make major improvements to the property. So if you have that unfinished basement, you pull permits and you finish it, county's going to know about it. County wants to get their tax money. So that's going to void out the 3-year freeze and you're going to be reassessed. Otherwise, huge savings. Honestly, I can think of 2 reasons why somebody might not want to go through with the appeal process. 1, they think it's going to be too time consuming. 2, they don't know how to go through and find the right comps. So I've got a solution that addresses both of these things. In that first comment and in the description below, I've got a guide that you can download on my website that gives you everything you need. So I've prepared it for all of the Metro Atlanta counties. It'll tell you exactly where to go and how to file your appeal. I'm going to do one better. When you get that guide, I'm going to give you the 3 to 5 comps that best support your case to give you the best odds of success. Now, if you truly don't have time, then there are companies out there that will do this whole process for you in exchange for a percentage of what they save you. So you can come out way ahead without having to put nearly as much work in. So if you'd like a referral to one of those companies, still in that description, in the first comment, go to that website, just choose if that's the option that you want, and I'll be glad to make an introduction to one of the companies that handles that for you. If you know a homeowner that could benefit from this information, send them this video, have them watch it and help them out as well. Property taxes go up every single year. If they're not the right assessed value for your home, don't just take it, fight it. Now that you've watched this video, you've got all the tools. YouTube thinks you should watch this video next though. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.